Hello everyone, and welcome to this series of short videos on the theme of revival. It's Tuesday of Holy Week. We are coming into land as we bring this series to an end this Saturday. In this last week, what we're doing is looking back over the last 5 to 6 weeks and asking ourselves the question, what can we learn from the movements of God in the past? What can we learn as we seek for a movement of God in our day, in our community, in our city, in our nation? If you want a little title for this week, it would go something like Moving Beyond Inspiration. Listening to the stories of great revivals around the world is inspiring. It will not fail to inspire you and stir you. How do we move beyond that to being actively seeking for a movement of God in our day? We began yesterday by thinking about having a holy imagination, an imagination fired by the Holy Spirit, that when we read of stories in the past, we are left crying out, Lord, why not here? Having a holy imagination that can visualize God moving in our community, in our city, in our day. And daring to believe, or daring to pray that prayer, why not here? Today, we're going to think about contending prayer. So a second thing that we can learn from the history of revival is contending prayer. So, 1859 revival, those four Ulstermen gathering once a week in a schoolhouse in Conor-in-Kells, contending in prayer, praying for God to move in their day. We think about, quite interesting this week, go back today, in 1906, William J. Seymour started a 24/7 prayer event in an old warehouse in a street in Los Angeles called Azusa Street. Within a month, 1,500 people were crammed into that warehouse, praying for a movement of God in the city of Los Angeles. And out of that 24/7 prayer meeting was born the Pentecostal movement as we know it today. Or we think about 24/7 prayer itself, celebrated its 25th anniversary last year, currently in 78 nations, with something along the lines of 25,000 24/7 prayer rooms active, contending in prayer. Or I think of someone who's championing this particularly, John Tyson, pastor of a church in the city, New York. John has made the decision to orientate his entire church around contending for a movement of God in New York City. And so from Monday to Friday, every day, they have prayer meetings 6 a.m. to 7 a.m., 7 a.m. to 8 a.m., 12 to 1 p.m., and then 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. What about that for a commitment? Contending for a movement of God in his city. This is something that we can learn. Contending prayer. And when I hear that word contending, I'm thinking of people who are determined, unwilling to give up, committed both to the Lord and his glory and to their community, their city, their nation, to keep on praying until the Lord in his sovereign will moves in our land. That will let us be known as people who contend in prayer for a movement of God in their city. See you tomorrow.